All right, so we are on to the last part of our introductory unit in biology. At this point, I hope that you know what biology is. You should know the nature of science. You should know those different branches of biology. And then the big one is the characteristics of living things. Those are those 8 characteristics. Remember I said Mr. Hugo Ree is an easy way to remember them. Um, and those characteristics tell us what organisms are alive compared to things that are not alive. So in our last part of this unit, we're going to discuss just classification system of organisms in biology. Do not get scared when you see this word. It's called taxonomy. Taxonomy are just the groups that we put organisms in. We try to group organisms that have similar traits with each other, and organisms that are very different from each other will be in different categories. So if we look at taxonomy, the first 2 people that came up with the idea of classifying organisms, first one is super old school, Aristotle. He classified living things on Earth as either plants or animals, which is a great start. But remember, we now know that there are other organisms, think bacteria, think fungi, that are not just plants or animals. So the person who came up with our current classification system, his name is Carolus Linnaeus. And Linnaeus is the one who put organisms into the classification system that we now use today. You may have heard of some of these words before. So there are 8 levels, going from the most general to the most specific. And then we have organisms that fit into each one of these levels. So it's a domain, kingdom, think animal kingdom or plant kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. And every single living thing on Earth that we discover fits into a domain, fits into a kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. You're going to be responsible for knowing these categories. An easy way to remember these categories, look at the first letter of each one of these. And you see a D, a K, a P, a C, O, F, G, S. A great way to remember this is, did King Philip come over for good soup? And that goes from the most general to the most specific. So if we look at something like human beings, right, we're living things here on Earth, you can look and you can see each one of the taxa, that's the categories that we belong into. So domain, eukarya, means that we are made of eukaryotic cells. We'll talk more about eukaryotic cells in our cells unit. The kingdom, we're in the animal kingdom. Phylum, chordata, means we have a backbone. Class, we're mammals. You might know some other organisms out there that are mammals. Order, primates. You can think of things like great apes. The family is going to be Hominidae. The genus is going to be Homo, and the species is going to be Sapiens. When most scientists talk about an organism, they just use the genus and species name, which I'm sure you've heard before for humans, Homo sapiens. Okay, so there are the categories for humans. You can also see the category for a lion that also fits into a domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. One thing that gets a little confusing for biology students is scientists have recently added in a category into our taxonomy, and that's the domain category. The domain category is very, very general, and there are essentially only 3 domains of living things here on Earth. There's the archaea domain. That consists of bacteria that you would find at like the bottom of the ocean by those thermal vents, or maybe in Yellowstone National Park inside those geysers. Then there's regular old bacteria, the stuff that's in our intestines, the stuff that like makes us sick, makes us throw up. Those are called eubacteria. And then you have eukarya. And eukarya is everything else, plants, animals, and fungi. Humans, lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, all belong into the kingdom, or excuse me, in the domain eukarya. Okay, so the archaea domain is going to be archaebacteria. Those are going to be bacteria that are found in really wild environments, like thermal heat vents and geysers, and places underground. They're relatively rare. The domain bacteria or eubacteria are just the regular old bacteria that we usually see in and around us, the things that make us sick. You should know their nutrition. You should know how they reproduce. Movement is just going to be cilia or flagella. They're little tails that help the bacteria move in an aquatic environment. You could think about streptococcus. That is going to be the bacteria that causes strep throat. Protists are a weird one. Protists are eukaryotic cells. That means they have a nucleus, they have a bunch of organelles, and they're found in aquatic environments. That means they're found in the water. Paramecium, you might remember from middle school. The amoeba, you might remember from middle school. These are found in aquatic environments. They can move, they can reproduce sexually and asexually. And again, the classic example would be an amoeba or a paramecium. Kingdom fungi, this is going to be the domain eukarya. You could think of a fungus. Mushrooms are going to be the classic example of a fungus. Please remember that fungi do not photosynthesize. Fungi actually get their nutrients and their energy by breaking down other or dead organisms. Here's the plant kingdom. Plant kingdom is going to be trees and bushes and grasses and things like that. Remember, they get their energy from photosynthesis. And then finally, here we are. We are in the animal kingdom. We get our energy by eating things. Most animals reproduce sexually. There are some animals that can reproduce asexually. So the domains, there's going to be 3 different domains: archaebacteria, eubacteria, and then eukarya. But then the kingdoms, there's going to be the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the fungus kingdom, the protist kingdom, and the bacteria kingdom. Okay, so these are just some of the categories that we put living things in. We would hope that you would be able to give us just some of the basic characteristics of organisms within each kingdom. And remember too, we're going to give you some activities to help you better understand how organisms are classified and what each one of these taxa or categories means in terms of an organism's characteristics. Okay, so until next time, we'll see you in biology class. Thanks for listening.